Welcome to Laphroaig. My name is John Campbell and I'm the distillery manager. I've been here for 26 years, third generation, both father and grandfather have worked here. So that's something I'm very proud of. Laphroaig has been here for over 200 years now. Started off with Alexander and Donald Johnston in 1815. And all the way through, right through until the 1970s, we were an independent company. We're here in the Floor Maltings. This is the barley growing all around me. There are over 100 distilleries in Scotch whisky industry. Only 6 or 7 do this process. So what we do, we flavour first and then we dry. Every other distillery with a floor maltings and every commercial maltings will flavour and dry at the same time. It's just more efficient to do it that way. Why we flavour and then dry, and we do it at a very low temperature as well, so we call it a cold smoking process. Why we do this is we get a different, group of smoke flavoured profiles by doing this. So we get a different taste. So we're now in the still house here at Laphroaig. In this first safe, we'll get the beer into these wash stills. We'll boil it up and we'll take our 8% volume beer from the mash house. We'll get 35% volume low wines. We will distill all the alcohol out of that and then put it into one of these 4 stills in the second distillation. What we do here, we'll do the same process, boil all the alcohol up again. We'll then cut it into 3 parts. First part is heads, then the hearts, and then the tails. Laphroaig has the longest heads run in the Scotch whisky industry. So we run it for 45 minutes before we start to collect spirit. And this is one of the key things that will make Laphroaig different. The reason we cut later and deeper than any other distillery is to get these really heavy, smoky, phenolic flavours coming through in the new spirit. Okay, so the maturation here in Islay is different as well. We just have a different climate to mainland Scotland. What that means here at Laphroaig and in these warehouses, we have a higher loss because in the winter we're basically warmer. So the whisky is maturing all year round, and that means we get about 25% losses in each one of these casks during the maturation period. Whereas if you mature in mainland Scotland, it'll be about 20%. So what does that mean? Well, if you've only got 75% left versus 80%, you'll have a different air to liquid balance. So you get different oxidization, so different characters and different flavours being produced inside the casks on Islay. It might be more kind of cost effective to keep it in the mainland, but these flavours are really, really important to the overall flavour of the distillery. So another thing that makes Laphroaig unique is we're the only single malt with a royal warrant. What does that mean? It means we supply the royal household with whisky. What you should get when you nose Laphroaig is a lot of these things we've just talked about. Put your nose into the glass. First thing I actually get is the vanilla. That's coming from the barrels, the ex-Maker's Mark barrels. So we dash the vanilla up front, go in again. Now it might take your nose 2 or 3 attempts to get going. You need to get yourself settled, tuned into Laphroaig. Getting there now, lots of peat. I get lots of salt in this one. So how do I know salt? It feels kind of dry at the back of my nose, and that's the feeling I'm getting with this one. Very much, it's kind of like I'm smelling the atmosphere on the outside because I'm lucky enough to be at Laphroaig. You put your nose in the glass and it's very similar, but just with a vanilla twist basically from the bourbon barrel. So we should have a wee taste. So you'll get the body first, nice kind of creamy body coming through. Some of these lovely vanilla notes coming through. I get a lot of fruit in this one. It's moving back along my tongue now. Start to get some of the spice from the American oak coming through. And then slowly and slowly the peat starts to build at the back of my mouth, coming up from my throat and sitting right at the back of my tongue. And it feels kind of like licorice root to me. And underneath my tongue at the same time, salt receptors are jangling. You start to get some of that lovely kind of sea salty flavour you get in a Laphroaig. Okay, so you've been round the distillery, you've seen the process, you now know what goes into making this spirit unique. We just need to get you here. So I look forward to welcoming you here, hopefully in the not too distant future, and then we can share a glass together. Here's to seeing you soon. Slange.